Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to set up a Lambda Function URL. This is an alternative to using the API gateway method, which allows you to bind your Lambda function to an API gateway endpoint. So this way is much simpler and allows you to do the same thing in just a couple steps as opposed to having to do a whole bunch of things through API gateway. So to get started, we're going to go to create function in the top right here in the Lambda section of the console. We're going to set some of the properties during function creation like I'm going to do here. So just name this whatever you want, doesn't really matter. We're also going to use Python 3.9 here. You may be using a different language, that also will not matter here. And then in order to set the function URL settings, we want to do so through the advanced settings section here. And you can see now that there's a new option here to enable function URL. You can click on this guy to get some extra info, but you can see here that it allows you to use function URLs to assign HTTPS endpoints to your Lambda function. So this method is going to let your web application, going to let some backend service that you have call this function through a URL through just a normal HTTP request. So let's enable this really quick and talk about some of the settings that are involved here. So the first one is in terms of auth type. So we have two different options here. We can choose AWS IAM or none. If we set none, that basically means that this function's URL will be accessible from the public internet. Absolutely anyone can call it. If we set it to be AWS IAM, that means that only users that are part of the resource-based policy in the function's configuration will be able to call this Lambda function URL. So I'll show you in a couple steps how that works, but essentially you can make it so that other services, other roles, other accounts, other organizations are able to call your URL, and this method will ensure that they are the only ones that have access to it. And you can also enable CORS on this as well if you want to maybe call this from a web application that's hosted on another domain. That's also possible for you to do. But for this case, I'm just going to set this to none for demonstration purposes, but I do want to show you how you can set the AWS IAM. I'll do that after we create the function. So we're going to set this to none now. And you can see here that it's giving you a little bit of a warning. When you choose the none type, Lambda automatically creates the following resource-based policy and attaches it to your function. Here's the policy statement in here. You can see the principal is star, so it's letting anyone call this Lambda function URL. And this is the new action that's associated with this if you want to control that through IAM or create a policy. So that's fine for now. We don't need to worry about this. We're going to come back to it as well. And one last thing is that if you have resources that are in a VPC that your function wants to call, then you may need to enable VPC as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and create the function now. It may take a moment or so since it has to create a IAM role as well, but I'll come back when this is all done. Okay, so my function was successfully created as we can see up here. So let's close that. You can see now since we set the function URL during the creation step, we have a section down here where we have the URL endpoint to our function. So we'd be able to call this through a web app, through whatever, through Postman, through your browser. And so if I click this, it's going to invoke our function here. So let's just take a look at what our function does. It just returns hello from Lambda. So let's try this out really quick. This should open up a new tab here. So yeah, just hello from Lambda, like we can see. Okay, so that works correctly. I want to talk about that resource-based policy and the aliases part of this, because you can map different aliases to different functions as well. So let me show you how that works really quick. So if we go to aliases over here, we can create an alias, and let's just call this foo alias. And let me show you how this works really quick. Set it to the version. This is automatically the most recently deployed version. We're going to click on save. And now you can see here, we're under the URL demo foo alias. So we can create a function URL that is specific to this alias. And it's pretty much the exact same process over what we just did. Now under the configuration section, you can see there's a function URL section here. So we can go here, we can create the function URL, and this is effectively the same screen that we were at when we were originally creating our Lambda function. So that's how that works. And you can see here, I didn't save that, and my Lambda function from my root function is still working correctly. Okay, so that's how to set up the function URL and set up the alias. Now I want to talk about that AWS IAM thing and how we can change the policy to allow certain accounts to access this function through the URL. So go to configuration here, and there's a section over on the left for permissions. So go ahead and click on that. You want to scroll down and you want to go to the resource-based policy. Now, this is the thing that's going to tell AWS what other principals are going to be allowed to invoke our functions. Principals are just basically people or entities or identities. So you can see here, since we allowed this function to be public access, it automatically created this statement for us, which is principal as star. It's the wildcard. It means all. And you can see the condition is string equals lambda invoke function URL. So what we can do here is we can delete this. And if I delete this immediately, I should lose access to that function URL if we try to do that again. So let's try this really quick. So we removed that. Let's go to our function URL again, try to invoke it. There you go. We're getting forbidden. So this is working correctly. And if we want to add it back, you can just, do, what is it? Yeah, it would be do add permissions and then add none as the method. So let's do this for IAM now, just to show how that may work. Okay, so here's the policy statement. You want to set it to function URL since that's what we're configuring this for. You can also separately set it up for an AWS account to call this function programmatically through the SDK, or for another AWS service to call invoke function, maybe like an S3 event for put, or an API gateway endpoint that needs to invoke your function. That's when you would use these two here. But for our case, we want to use function URLs. And now we have AWS IAM selected. By the way, to restore it to the original state, you can just go to none here, and this will allow that statement again with the principal as star. But let's do AWS IAM now. You can give this whatever statement ID you want, doesn't really matter. And this is where you set the principal. So the principal can be just an entire account. It could be an organization. It could be a user like you see here. It could be a particular role. So this is how you can specify who has access to this function URL. So, I'm not going to put anything in here because I don't have a principal handy, but that's how you would specify it. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the video here on using these function URLs. If you enjoyed this, check out my other ones on AWS Lambda here on the right, and thanks so much for watching.